Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we're taking another cheeky look at Vechain, and specifically I don't think this price has reached the top yet. So Chris, we're going to have a look at some technical analysis for the VET token, and we still think this thing has more legs in it. I think it's got some more potential and some more price discovery still to go. So we're going to get into that, all that good stuff. Have a look at the chart on the daily, the 4-hourly, the hourly views, see what we can see, and yeah, let's see where this thing might go, Chris. It's going to be an interesting one. So again, if you find this video useful and informative, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, do consider subscribing. By subscribing, you're going to be kept up to date with all the various different videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And of course, it's free, so why not? And Chris, this is your biggest bag, so you're over the moon right now.
Yeah, you know what? We've been talking about Vechain for an awful long time, and the gains that I've seen with this project are just remarkable. My biggest bag, and for valid reasons, right? Just go do your research on Vechain, look at the team, look at the partnerships, and look at the use cases that Vechain have got. Look at the fact that they're a 𝗕𝗃 rated, 5-star rated blockchain, the only one in the world. The list goes on and on and on. If you love Vechain, just leave a note in the comments. Let us know one reason why you're so bullish on Vechain. We would love to know.
Absolutely. Right, let's jump on over to the charts and take a look at what's going on here. So it's really interesting stuff. So basically, Vechain had broken out, Chris, out of the inverse head and shoulders that was appearing on the 12-hourly chart. And it's been supported quite nicely by the volumes that we've seen as well. So really good stuff. There's the 10-week SMA has been critical support since November. And the top side trend line is, an important price target moving further forward as well. So lots kind of going on. Now, if we take a look in a little bit more detail of what's potentially going on this chart, Vechain price, I guess it stole the spotlight yesterday. We even did a stream on this one, didn't we? It broke all-time highs, and fantastic to see such things happen. And Vechain's been setting a few records for itself at the lesser end of 2020, and it continues to do so during 2021. So really good to see some strong progress with the VET token, and I still think there's more of an upswing to come. So VET kicked off the week yesterday by a breakout from that 22-day inverse head and shoulders pattern that's visible on that 12-hourly view. The bullish impulse is supported by an increase in the volume, which you can see over here, and we had a nice increase in the volumes. And ultimately, adding to the pattern's constructive resolution, right? So really, really strong stuff. And that inverse head and shoulders was a clear breakout and was really good to see. The key to the outlook for Vechain price is if it gains and can hold a weekly closing, a good strong weekly closing candle. And we're going to obviously see that at the latter end, the end of the week. So that would be the key indicator of things moving further forward. And the first notable profit-taking area for some might be around the 7-cent or 10-cent area. For us on our chart, that's actually coming in at about 8 cent or so. This is obviously comes in at the 1.618 Fibonacci and the 2.618 Fibonacci respectively. So really good key areas. And we're going to get into that when we do a bit of a summary of this particular chart. And Chris, this is just really interesting stuff. I mean, to see that breakout happen yesterday, which we kind of noted was going to potentially be on the cards. I think about 4 days ago now, we did a whole "That is about to explode" video. And we finally actually saw that come to fruition yesterday. So really good stuff that it happened there so quickly as well. So, the third profit target is much higher, and we'll get into that as well. And we'll kind of talk about where we think some of these key areas might be, at least they're short term. And then we'll talk a little bit about the longer term views as well. So let's get into this chart and see what's going on. So here we have the breakout that we had yesterday. Right up here where we got out of this former high level and we created new highs. Today we've also set new highs up here as well at 6.7 cent, and we have pulled back a little bit. Ultimately, we're overbought a little bit here on the RSI. Nothing massive, nothing too alarming at this point, but I imagine it looks worse from the 4-hourly view and the 1-hourly view, which we'll get into in a moment. We can obviously see the volumes have decreased since yesterday, Chris, and it seems to be more selling volume at the moment. So a little bit of profit taken since it reached new all-time highs. But I don't think that's going to be a problem long term though. And like I said before, we're looking for that weekly closed candle to be up in this area here. And that's going to be the best bullish signal moving further forward into next week. But let's go ahead, Chris, and pull this into that 4-hour view. And again, this shows us that decrease in volume now after that increase in volume. So breaking out of that head and shoulder pattern, and ultimately or that inverse head and shoulder pattern, we have now got a decrease in volume. That's actually going to help stabilize this price a little bit. We can see that selling pressure here, 2 red candles here for 8-hour period. But actually we're starting to push back up now, which is really good to see. And ultimately what happened here is we were overbought, and we came back down below 70, and now we're just going back up into overbought again. But the volumes have increased in the last 4 hours versus the 4 hours prior, so we'll just have to monitor that situation. Still, the macro view is a downward trend on this 4-hour chart for the volumes. So we'll have to see if the volumes are going to increase to help increase that price. The RSI can still have a lot of room to the upside here on the RSI side of things for an overbought. So nothing too alarming here. It is obviously on the higher end of things, so we're going to eventually have to call off this particular token, which is expected. We do expect regular pullbacks. But let's pull this into that 1-hour view. And again, actually, this one's looking really, really good, Chris. The hourly view is actually going to be supporting the price moving back up again. So I would not be too surprised if we're going to set some new all-time highs just based on looking at this, right? So ultimately, we were overbought very briefly up here when we got those new all-time highs set today. We come back down. We actually corrected down to 52. That's a really good indication there. And we're actually just hitting that 60 level. Now, the volumes are decreasing on the hour, but actually, for the most part, they're actually slightly increasing. Big macro view still decreasing, and if you look at that, it's kind of coming down a little bit. With the RSI being where it is right now and the price being right up where it is, that's actually a really positive sign, guys. I think we're going to start seeing this thing potentially pop to that upside in a matter of moments. I think, by later today, we're going to be setting some new all-time highs, Chris. Albeit maybe briefly. We'll have a few corrections in place, nothing major though. If the volumes stay nice and low and the volumes decide to spike up for price discovery and then decrease down on profit taking, we could see this thing potentially popping quite nicely to the upside. Lots of room here on this RSI, not as low as I would like to see it, but considering the all-time highs and how close we are to the all-time high, that's actually a really good position to be in on the RSI side of things. So not bad at all. So let's pull this back up into that daily view and just kind of give this a bit of a summary. Ultimately, the RSI on the daily view looks quite bad, but actually the 4-hourly view, not so bad, and the hourly view is definitely supporting the higher price discovery still to come. The volumes are pretty low here on the daily view. However, on the 4-hourly view and the hourly view, they're not too bad at all. They're actually increasing on the prior candles. So interesting stuff there, Chris. I think there's potential to the upside in the next few hours, and I think maybe it's even a new all-time high in this still to come. And again, going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this video, we need to see that weekly closed candle nice and high as well. That's going to be the bullish signal for next week and moving on to the next legs within the chart. But let's, Chris, talk about those prices, right? The first price target that we're looking at on that 1.618 area comes in at 8.3 cent. So 8.3 cent is the area that we are targeting initially. That's the first price target. And I wouldn't be too surprised, Chris, that if we can get enough momentum during the week that we actually take that one out altogether. So I'm going to be watching that closely. The next price target comes in at 11.9 cent. That's the 2.618 area of the Fibonacci extension level, followed by 15.5 cents, and that comes in at the 3.618 area. And then obviously this thing tops out at about 17.8 at the moment, but we can correct that as needed. And as we were talking a little bit, Chris, on our live stream yesterday about what we were expecting Vechain and the VET price to get to during the week, well, during this particular bull run, I should say. I'm expecting that this thing can easily get to $1, but I do want to see 50 cent first. 50 cent is the area that I just want to see happen and look at the data and then take a step back and look at everything in front of me and say, yes, I think this has still got enough momentum in it to get to that dollar level. So 50 cent is my key kind of price area. I won't be selling at 50 cent by no stretch of the imagination. But I want to be seeing that actually happen so that I can then analyze the data in a little bit more detail and to kind of give my thoughts and opinions as to whether or not I think this thing can get to that dollar level. Now, with that being said, Chris, we've seen a lot of people talking about the VET token going up to $2, maybe even $3 in this particular cycle. What's your thoughts on all of that?
You know, I would love that to happen. I'm really like, you know, my personal view is a dollar is going to be the top for this bull cycle. You know, I think we're more likely to see 50 cent. But, you know, I want to see some of the lower price points get taken out. I kind of feel like whilst the price is where it is, you know, those small increments are really difficult. I think when people start to see, you know, it going up to sort of the 8-11 cent mark, I think more people are going to be looking at it and taking, you know, the project a little bit more seriously when they look at the price and the discovery of that price movement in such a short period of time. I think when people see that, you know, you're going to see more people sort of FOMOing in. I do expect that. I think we saw that a little bit yesterday, you know, when it's, you know, getting up to all-time high and then surpassing it. And I think this is something that, you know, as a trend is going to continue.
Absolutely. I think this week's going to be an absolutely key week for VET and VeChain as a whole. To see how this weekly candle closes down, we want to see it nice and high. I would like to see it actually taking out that 8 cent area, Chris. I think that's going to be the bullish signal going forward into next week. So we're going to be watching very closely and see how this thing actually plays out. For now, I think there's still plenty of room to the upside here. We haven't got close to that first price target after our breakout here. So really interesting to see how it continues to grow, Chris. I think there's going to be a little bit of baby corrections as needed, just to correct the RSI, correct the volumes, and then rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I think we're going to get into a pretty good position here with VET. So hopefully, guys, you have found this video useful and informative. If you have, then do go ahead and hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you're going to be kept up to date with all the various different videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And of course, it's free. So yeah, why not? Treat yourselves. Right. With that said, Chris, we hope everyone has a fantastic day and we'll catch everyone in the next one.
Take care.